Welcome, music lovers of Central New York, on this beautiful, gray, snowy March day in Central New York. I'm Kathleen Rowland Silverstein, president of the board of Civic Morning Musicals, and we're here today talking to Robbie Padilla, who is also a member of the board and has performed for CMM on many occasions. Robbie is also our social media director for Civic Morning Musicals, which has been an amazing challenge and a very productive one. Thanks, Robbie.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
So Robbie has some performances coming up on our Wednesday recital series. And I wanted to ask you, Robbie, about your repertoire. I know that you've been going in a new and interesting direction. Maybe not new for you, but certainly new, I think, for audiences in Central New York. So I just wanted to ask you, how did you come up with your repertoire choices?
Absolutely. Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't even finalize my program until like a couple weeks ago. And so I'll start with the end. The final piece I picked out after the passing of Chick Corea in early February. So he wrote 20 children's songs in the 70s that emphasized the spirit of a child, and recorded them in the 80s. And then he released the sheet music in 2020. Mm-hmm. So I bought it right after hearing of his passing. I learned a few of his pieces, so I programmed those. And then near the end of the work. And then I also, because we're premiering our recital on March 17th, St. Patty's Day, I had to throw something Irish in there. So I did a Irish tune from County Derry by Granger, just something I grew up with as a French horn player in the band world.
Wow.
Playing that many, many, many times in my undergrad.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
And then just starting the program, I also wanted to get away from programming a lot of the same music, where we consider Debussy to be modern music that was written 100 years ago. And so I wanted to program stuff that was more modern, some more stuff written by women composers, stuff written by composers of color, and just stuff that is kind of lesser known to bring it out into the limelight. So I'm starting with a short little cute work by Cecile Chaminade, Pierrette. It's a little dancey piece. Then I'm doing the big set, the largest piece of the recital is going to be by Harry Thacker Burley from the Southland, a collection of 6 solo piano pieces.
Great.
And then we're going to actually a few works that I wrote myself.
Wow. Wow. Tell me about the new works, your own works.
So it kind of just starts from like, I might just improvise a melody in my head and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write that down or else I'm going to forget what it sounded like. So I'll just start writing something down, then I'll just kind of be like, I'll just turn it into a song. And then I'll just sit down for a couple days and write something out, and some stuff I come up with I actually like, and I'll learn how to play it. So the 3 pieces I'm playing are called Augmented Reality, and then there's one called Bells in the Wind. That's kind of, I consider it kind of Liszt-like, where the melodies intertwined with the arpeggios. And then I have the last one's called Little Demon Prelude. It's a tale of 2 little demons, and it's kind of it's a crazy fire and brimstone kind of piece. That
is it a tribute to your cats by any chance?
Technically, no, but it could easily be applied. I have attempted to write pieces for my cats, but I haven't found the right voice for them yet.
Yes, yeah, that's very important that you make that decision carefully and wisely.
There is one right there.
Oh my gosh.
Piper, she's been watching us the whole time. My other one's back here, like sleeping on the couch.
Great. Oh, well, Robbie, you're of course a Central New York boy, and you got your master's degree here in Syracuse at Syracuse University, studying with fantastic pianist and teacher Ida Trubisca. You've been very busy since you finished your master's degree, but I think that this last year, going through the exceptional circumstances that we've gone through, you've been really, really productive. So how has hunkering down during the COVID pandemic aided you as a creative person and as a teacher?
Well, I think we were all freaking out when everything shut down and we were like, can't have our concerts anymore. I teach private lessons, so it was like, what do we do about lessons? And a couple days into it, with my lessons, I was like, I just emailed my studio and said, hey, I've used Skype before. Let's have a lesson on Skype next week. And then that turned into Zoom. And now my lessons are like almost exclusively virtual at this point until further notice, But as far as performing, I realized I think other people thought this like 5 minutes into the pandemic where they were like, I can do virtual recitals. So once April 2020 came, like about a month later, I did my first live stream recital where I just put a bunch of music together that I knew, and I invited some friends on Facebook and said, hey, check out my recital. It's gonna be live at 7 o'clock on this night. And it was a hit. It was cool. People were showing their support from the virtual audience. And then so since then I always want to do more and more virtual concerts. So I've been just kind of making it a point to get stuff up there live streamed as much as possible and to connect with audiences. Because you realize that you don't have to be in person to reach audiences. They don't have to physically come to you. You can play to someone across the country at the same time.
Right. Really, I mean, I have seen some extraordinary performances online in this past year that just, moved me to tears or, joy. It's been really incredible. Like all of us, we're looking forward to going back to performing in live. But I think you'll agree with me that moving forward, even as we return to normalcy, I don't think we're ever going to leave doing things online.
Oh yeah. We can still, even before the pandemic, I know universities have been live streaming concerts. I know at SU when I was there, they started live streaming recitals anyway, so people could watch it from far away.
Right.
But I think that'll always be a thing. I think more people are going to get involved in live streaming concerts, even if they are in person.
Right. So remind us again when your next two Wednesday recital series concerts are going to be taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have my upcoming on March 17th, have my solo recital. And then 2 weeks later, I'm playing a recital with Sarah Midgley-Scuderi, saxophone clarinet player. And we're getting ready to record that one, having a lot of fun with that.
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, okay, now I have, I like to throw in a kind of an unusual question every time I do one of these CMM spotlights. And of course, we see a lot of the Proust questionnaire where you're asked these famous questions from this famous questionnaire. Recently, I watched a YouTube video of Awkwafina answering the Proust questionnaire, and the interviewer was very mean to her, didn't give her the questions ahead of time, and she had to answer within 5 seconds. It's hilarious. If you ever want to watch a hilarious retelling of the Proust questionnaire with a very interesting character, watch Awkwafina, Proust questionnaire. But I'm going to ask you, what quality do you most admire in other people? And then what quality do you most admire in yourself?
A tough one. I admire that people when they want to change for the better, when there's a new opportunity to do something better for themselves, for other people. Like when we look in music for right now, like how we were just talking about, the pandemic and how that shifted things around completely. How you have a group of people, you have a lot of people who are tuned to the old ways. They want to do the thing the way they always did it, have their lessons in person and always have concerts in person. But I love how so many people have just adapted to this new way of doing things differently and always trying to better themselves. And I feel like I'm hopefully on that train too. I'm hopefully trying to always adapt with what's going on, trying to change things, trying to make things better for the future.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that's absolutely true about you, Robbie. I'm always grateful to have you on the board because you're always forward thinking, you have vision, you're positive, and if anything can be said to be a test of our entire board for Civic Morning Musicals, it's been this last year, and I think everyone has really risen to the challenge, but especially you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
So
it.
I guess that's it for today. And don't forget Robbie's concerts, and those dates again are March 17th and
31st.
the 31st. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Robbie.
Thanks for having me, Kathleen.
Stay warm, stay safe, stay well.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.